Y'all, my next guest is drag royalty, and I can't tell you how excited I am to have her in my bed finally, because she be staying booked and busy, and she ain't got no time for FayWhat. All right? Tiffany Fantasia, a beacon of talent and charisma in Miami, has been captivating hearts since I was a little baby lesbian. Right? Transforming palace bars, drag brunches into must-attend events for nearly 20 years. Beyond her breathtaking performances, Tiffany embodies the soul of Miami, a city known for its vibrant diversity and spirited culture. Her repertoire, spanning emceeing, comedy, acting, and singing, showcases her unparalleled versatility and magnetic stage presence. Elevating every show along Ocean Drive into a grand celebration, Tiffany's artistry has not only earned her the title of Best Drag Performer by Miami New Times, but also spotlighted her on national television with Andy Cohen. Influenced by Miami's rich cultural tapestry, Tiffany's performances are a dynamic fusion of humor, dance, and unparalleled versatility, making her an emblematic feature of the drag community and beyond. 23 years in South Florida drag is basically dog years. That's like 150 years in gay, okay? Tiffany Fantasia, welcome to my bed.
Thank you. Girl, I need you to write for me.
Come
you,
on.
You need to do all my intros.
Oh.
Like, that was fabulous, because I hate talking about myself like that.
Gladly.
And that was amazing. Like, okay, my next RuPaul audition is I'm taking your script and saying it. That was amazing.
Well, you are amazing, Tiffany, and there's so much more to add to that. I mean, you've been part of documentaries. You have been part of so many different casts. You have elevated other drag queens to where they are today, you know? And like I said, decades in the business, that's like 150 years in gay years. You know what I mean? Because the shit that we go through on a regular basis, normal people don't go through, you know?
At all.
I mean, how have you lasted this long when we've seen so many performers come and go?
Change.
Versatility.
You have to change with the business. Like, you have to adapt. And you have to have a smart business sense. A lot of the girls come in and they think, I'm a drag queen, I'm an instant celebrity, I'm an instant star, you should treat me like that. That is not how the business is. You're getting dressed in a closet. You're getting dressed in the women's bathroom. You know, you're gonna be in tight spaces, uncomfortable spaces, and you're supposed to go out there and pretend like everything is great and everything is fine and give people a good show.
Yeah.
And they think that they're supposed to be waited on hand and foot. And that's not how it is. If you're in it for the art, everything else will come along when the right people make that happen. If you're in it for the money and the notoriety, you're going to fall flat sooner or later because your ethics and your values are all wrong.
Do you think that Drag Race has something to do with the fact that a lot of drag queens now feel entitled almost? I mean, because you are the performers, okay? So you deserve to be treated with the utmost respect and have some kind of a dressing room. But I know what it's really like back there. You know what I mean? And you are, you know, squishing 6 big bitches in one little space with all their stuff and, like, you know, and all their personalities. Like, it's a lot.
No, I don't think Drag Race has anything to do with it, because those attitudes were there way before Drag Race even came around. And as you know, some spaces are able to accommodate, you know, a drag show. It was set up and designed to have entertainment, so they have a real dressing room and whatnot. Other places, somebody said, hey, I want to do a drag show here, and you just got to work with what's available. And it is what it is, you know.
We're resourceful. We've always been. We've always had to figure out what you got to do, even if it's from CBS, to put together a look. I mean, it's what it is. You know?
So, I mean, the entitlement, you're like, girl, you just started. How do you think they're supposed to do this, and this? They don't even know you, girl. So you want the $300 bookings. You want
a
free
host?
bottle. You just got in the game. They don't even know you. And, you know, yes, you will find events or something that, you know, will be able to cater to you like that, but they have an unlimited budget. A regular small bar, they ain't got all that.
No, they don't. They don't. Tiffany, when you first started performing, did you ever imagine that you'd become one of the faces that people instantly associate with South Florida, especially Ocean Drive?
Absolutely not. You know what the funny thing is? I just talked about money and stuff. So I've always been an artist. Singing was my thing, and I thought I was going to be an R&B singer. I auditioned for American Idol. I was auditioning for like the revamping of Star Search.
As Henry?
Yes.
Okay.
And so that's how I met RuPaul. But anyways, the first time I met RuPaul. Anyways, my friends from Pride Lines were doing drag. I had no interest in it. And they were like, oh, we're going to do drag. Come on, let's get together and do it.
What year was this?
2000, Beyonce Crazy in Love was the hot song. So 2000.
That's how we gauge Beyonce songs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, music in general for me, like,
It's
that was a hot song.
Yeah.
So, and so that's when went to the club, did it, and they put me in makeup, named me. And
what? They named you?
So Tiffany was my name. It was just Tiffany Dooman was my original name.
Oh, okay. Dooman.
Dooman. So Tiffany Dooman. Because I was like, what, 22, 23, and I love to sleep with older men.
And you're like, I'm doing them.
I'm doing men. and so that was my name, and then I dropped the Dooman, then it became Phillips after my drag mom.
Tiffany Phillips.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So then Fantasia came around. And everybody like, you look like Fantasia, you look like Fantasia, you look like Fantasia. And I didn't watch American Idol at that time because I was pissed because I didn't get past the producer round. And I watched, I was like, I do look like this girl, and this girl sounds really good. So my middle name became Fantasia. And then I cut Phillips out.
Tiffany Fantasia Phillips.
Yeah. So I cut Phillips out because the marquee was too long and left it Tiffany Fantasia. And now it's Tiffany T Fantasia, T for Taylor.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
So yeah, I made like $10. And I was like, oh my goodness. Yes. As a broke college kid, $10 paid for my gas for the week.
Oh my God.
Then. And I was like, okay, if I get my gas paid, I'm gonna keep doing this. And I just kept doing it. All I wanted was my gas paid. And I'm like, oh girl, I'm gonna do this song, and the number give me at least $10, $25, and that's all I need.
Oh my God.
And it just slowly became a career. I just never stopped performing.
Wow. Well, I mean, but you're a singer, so you've had that stage presence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being a drag queen is an art, like we've talked about. It's an entertainment. You've got to know how to work your outfits, work the crowd, work the stage, all of that. But there's a vast difference between doing your numbers and hosting.
Correct.
A cast. You know what I mean? Hosting a cast and hosting the people.
Yeah.
When did that evolve into part of your drag persona?
I was doing shows under Amy Rivers and first Ebony Excel. And so they would need me to talk on the mic. And because I think, God, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it is what it is. Okay. So between all of the girls, I was the only English speaking person.
Listen, the beautiful thing about drag is that you're lip syncing somebody else's music. Yeah. It don't matter what language you speak.
So the other girls, a lot of times the other cast members, none of them spoke English well, or hosted. So they were like, Tiffany, can you go out there while I get ready? And I'm like, okay, sure, I'll do you solid. And I ended up. That's when my hosting chops started to come in. Like they just needed me to cover and fill in the gap. And people were like, oh my goodness, she's funny. Oh my goodness, and I had watched all the great African American comedians, the kings of comedy, queens of comedy, Comic View. I was hooked on all that stuff. In Living Color, Martin Lawrence, Eddie,
Def Comedy Jam, all of that. That was it.
Stuff. I used to watch that stuff religiously, and so I used like Steve Harvey, the way he would intro at the Apollo. That's like I took a little bit of that and took a little bit of Cedric the Entertainer and made my own persona or hosting skills.
That's amazing. Did you communicate with all these girls in Spanish? Because there's something about living in Miami where some of it like kind of gets stuck to you and like you know more than you should, you know, in Spanish. You know what I mean? Or at least all the bad words, and that's like enough to communicate. You know what I mean?
Okay. All the bad words. I know the basics, and I can comprehend more than I can speak.
Okay.
So they would, but they spoke English. It just wasn't well.
Yeah.
Or they had a really thick accent. And so they were very insecure about being on the mic. And which I get and I understand. It just left the door open for me to be able to, get my feet wet.
Yeah. Well, I know. How long have you been at Palace now? Officially?
22 years.
22 years. Okay. That kind of longevity doesn't exist in drag culture. Understand that. All right. Let's begin there. If you talk to many drag queens who have been part of casts that they loved and thought they were going to last forever, and then they don't. Right. When people think of the Palace, they think of you. So the Palace, must treat you well for you to have been there for decades now. I mean, that's a long time to be there. You've been there through the changes, through when they moved.
Yep.
When they moved, I remember when they moved, okay, where I was like, oh shit, this is going to go to crap. There's no way you're going to be able to move and still be able to have that same essence and energy.
Yeah.
But they did.
Yeah.
It's not a venue. It's basically a cultural institution at this point, What do you think their secret sauce is?
The girls. It's the girls. There are people who will say it's the girls. When I look at when something's busy and when something's not, and the only time I see that place bumping with people is when the girls are around. We for a long time we made sure that there was a good variety, want the best. So like many years ago, I had the task of bringing T-Dance back, and the manager at the time said, okay, you're gonna do the show, it's your show, you get one guest. And at that time we only had like 2 or 3 drag queens on our roster. And then I said, I want the best of the best here. I want the girls who are going to tear this place apart so that you want to come back and see who's going to come next and eat it up. And I bought on TP Lords. I bought on Latrice Royale. I bought on Noelle Leon. She had been booked a couple of times. Yeah, by the way. She had been booked a couple of times before that, but I put her in my rotation. And so I helped elevate it to another level with the people that I brought, and it just made it memorable. And
then you never look back because, I mean, from my standpoint, I see a lot of drag. I see a lot of drag shows. I'm blessed to be able to do that. One of my hashtags is drag is my muse, because it is. Whenever I get on stage, I think, what would any of my favorite queens do right now to keep these people engaged? You know what I mean? Yeah. And it takes, like you said, the girls to get the people coming back, I, for one, see the inclusivity. Like, you've got a girl from every color, every shade, everybody's represented. You get the, and then you got some boys coming out for everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, it's one-stop shopping. You literally you cater to everyone as a whole, and that's not easy to do.
No, but you do the best you can, and you have to pay attention to the audience. I don't always come in and say, I'm going to do this song, and that's going to be it. No. I have an idea of what I'm going to do, but I go out and look at that audience real quick and look at the demographic, and I can tell, okay, this is a much older crowd. So if I do something older, they're going to be able to relate to that.
Yeah.
They're younger. They're more African Americans. There's more Latin people. I look at the total and I'm like, okay, this is what's going to get them pumping. Because, everything isn't universal.
Of course.
So you have to be able to adapt and know who your playing to. Like certain weekends, I know I'm getting ghetto. I'm shaking that behind. They want to hear the shake behind music.
When I went, you were twerking on the box, okay?
Yeah.
Like that.
You know.
So
yeah, and then other times it's like if it's like an EDM, they want their house, they want it. So you have to play
cater to the crowd. Have you ever had a cast member that's about to do a ballad and you're like, nah, that's not, we can't do this right now. You know, I love you, but
I've gotten arguments about that. Oh yeah, I've gotten into arguments with cast members about that.
Okay.
Because it's like you're gonna kill the crowd.
Yes.
Oh, but I perform it well. It's not about you performing it well. You're a great performer. That's why you're here. But we need them to wake up. We need them to stay up. We want them spending money. We want that brain active.
Yep.
And what they don't realize is that scientifically, if music is at a certain tempo, they're more likely to dance, they're more likely to drink, they're more likely to be engaged and stick around. If you keep bringing it down, they're gonna end up wanting to go somewhere else, especially if the goal was to party.
Yeah.
And you're on Ocean Drive. Oh, my goodies is peeking out.
So there's other options, and you don't want them to go walking around, you know? Like, you don't want them to look at their clock and go, it's just like Vegas, right? You don't want them to look, oh, I've been here this long. No, you know? Again, I was just there a couple of weeks for a drag brunch, and I had some friends down from Tampa, and I was like, oh, I'm taking you to the best drag brunch. They had the best time, all right? But, like, it went from us tipping, us drinking, us dancing in our own seats, to us dancing in the whole middle area. We had a whole dance party and then went back to more drag. Like, it was an event. I was tired when I got out of there, right? I was like, did I just perform? Because I was like, shit, the whole entire time was up and moving and everything, you know? Tell me about your cast. Who do you hate?
Wow. Wow.
Who do you see on the list and you're like, oh.
There's a couple of girls I can't stand. I'm not gonna lie. It's like because they messy. Don't lie. Don't be a snitch. Like, if I have a problem, my thing is, I'm an adult. I am 44 years old. If I have a problem with you, that's me and you.
This is professional. This is time to work.
Yeah. You want to have a problem, and then you want to go and tell management. You want to go tell everybody. You want to try and put everybody on sides, and you want to lie about the situation. So it's like, yeah, I'm not going to mess with you outside. I'm not going to speak around you because you twist words. I'm not going to do that.
Well, you're also not going to intro them great. At least I wouldn't. It'd be I'd be like, all right, here's June.
No. But see, this is where my professionalism. I could cuss you out on stage. I mean, in the dressing room because you did X, Y, and Z, or you did something bad with the coordinator, or whatever. And I will go on out there and give you the same introduction like ain't nothing happened because it's none of their business.
That's why she's royalty, folks. That's why she's incredible. You mentioned something before about Pride Lines, which is crazy about how full circle all this stuff is, right? I mean, you were mentioning about how Pride Lines kind of gave you that first push. You know, the folks, the queens that were represented at Pride Lines gave you that first push. And then over the weekend, you got an award from Pride Lines. Thank you, Pride Lines, Harold, and the whole crew over there. You guys are incredible. I can tell by your post that you didn't know.
I had no clue. They called me up to, we want you to MC the 5th Annual Halo Awards, and we want you to do a number. I'm like, okay, cool. And so I do the number. I MC my part. They were MCing the awards, and I'm like, okay, well, honey, I'm gonna eat, mind my business. And mind you, my dumb behind should have figured that something was going on because he told me we have a really old picture of you. I'm like, okay. Well, I guess I'll see the picture at some point. So I'm thinking maybe some presentation they're doing to show, the kids in the past or whatever. And I'm sitting here just eating my chicken, and it wasn't fried. Baked.
Okay, she had a fork and knife, all right?
It's a fork and knife type of chicken. Don't even start with that assumption. I'm sick of y'all. I eat well. Can't you tell?
So you're there eating your chicken.
And then all of a sudden, like, the picture pops up and a Tiffany Legacy Award. I'm like, So they had to turn around. I'm like, what? What's going on? So they gave a whole speech. It was so beautiful. And so then I went up there and stuff. I still had my drink in my hand. And I'm like, now I got to give a speech, and I don't even know what to say because I hadn't prepared one because I didn't know I was getting one. But no, it was sweet. It was awesome. I appreciate it.
Was that like a full circle moment after, one, like you said, the Queens inspiring you at the beginning of your career, and two, a couple of years ago, I remember when I was hosting their gala, and all that BS happened with Lady Bunny. Do you remember that? I know you were so mad at that moment that you didn't remember, but I ran out.
Yeah, no,
I ran out. I was like, ain't nobody messing with my Tiffany. You crazy. I'll stop hosting right now. You know what I mean? You find somebody else to host,
You did, and I appreciate that. That was a moment. I was not in my best spirits. As I said on my live, I was not in a good mood. I had gotten a text message saying, basically, a place I was working at was going to fire me. And they we're going to have you work every other week, which is the ground. They want you to intern, say I quit.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm working. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
I'll be there every other week, okay?
But I knew what they were doing. And so I was not in the best spirit. Now, I was going to cancel because I wasn't in the best mood. And I said, no, they invited me to come. It's an organization that I love and cherish. Let me just go. And then fast forward, Lady Bunny's getting up there, accepting her award, and then my name pops out her mouth in that way. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. I'm the butt of her jokes. And she kept going and I said, I got to get out of here. My blood was boiling. My brain was racing. I'm like, if I don't leave
now,
y'all gonna be mad at me for hitting her or doing something real stupid. So I said, let me just leave and be peaceful. And I didn't say a word. I just got up and left. And you came out. Mind you,
you're like, where's my car? Where's my car? Screw this. Yes. No Faye, no Faye, no Faye, no Faye. Yeah. And that's all it was for like a good minute. No Faye, I'm not talking. No Faye, I don't want to talk. No, don't hug me. Don't touch me.
Yeah.
Because I was going to hug her. And she was like, no.
Because when I'm upset and my senses are 10 times than what they are, and if you touch me, it just makes it worse.
I can understand that.
So I'm like, just don't touch me. I'm going to be okay. I just need to just
get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I got to get out of this space and just get myself together because I don't want to do anything illegal, wrong, or stupid, or and mind you, there are very important people that were there, and people that I admire and look up to in this room, and people that look up to me in that room. So I didn't want to put myself in make a situation worse by acting out.
Yeah.
And
were you surprised by all the love after? Because people were like super upset, or let's just say that when Lady Bunny was initially added to this particular gala, I wrote them a nice email saying, I stepped down. I will not be hosting this event. I do not agree with Lady Bunny. I don't want to take a picture next to her. I don't want to be in her space. They still said, Faye, we want you to host. We just won't have you introduce her. And I said, fine, But when that night evolved to what it did, and she just used you, our royalty, our queen, Tiffany Fantasia, as a butt of a joke, it felt like a crutch. Like she was just using you because she had no other material to use.
Yeah. And the worst part is that's your acceptance speech. How you go from you're accepting an award and the only thing you can do is talk about Coral Gables, Billy Porter, and me. What the hell? I'm sorry. I thought when you accepted an award, you supposed to be, thank you to the committee for picking me. I've done so much for the community, so this reflects that. Thank you, thank you. I want to thank my mama. I want to thank God. I want to thank RuPaul for actually putting me on some episodes, because nobody's putting me on TV because I cursed too much and with the same damn blonde hair for 70 years. But then...
Yeah, nobody can tell the difference between you and Elaine Lancaster. I know, it's a bad thing. I know.
It's like, so you want to focus on me? Girl, gone. And I was so hot. I said, I got home, and mind you, that was like a 40-minute drive. I was crying. I was upset. And the president at that time had contacted me about it while I'm driving. And I said, this is about to explode. This is about to get real crazy. So I had no choice but to go on live and explain why I walked out and why. And the love I got was amazing. And what was the most interesting part about it was two things. A couple of people that are my friends or I respect in this community said that I was overreacting. And I'm like, okay. Then the women in this industry, the legends, Tiffany Ariagas, Nikki Adams, down the line, who messaged me or saw me in person and said thank you for somebody finally is sticking up to her.
Standing up to her, yes.
She's gone to their venues and done the same thing to them out of nowhere. And it's not like it's a joke that you would just casually make fun. Oh, it's a cute joke, It's a joke where you're tearing somebody down. She does those type of jokes on the girls for no reason. And so they were like, thank you. Finally, somebody stood up to her.
Yeah. Yeah, why do you think that people still call her in to do gay events? I mean, she literally said, don't vote for Kamala. You know what I mean? She just has all these negative things and, is like one sliver away from being a Trumper. Yet she still ends up slivering her way into things.
I mean, she labels herself as an independent. I feel that she uses her platform. She's always negative in the way she approaches things politically, but I would ignore it. And I just unfollowed her because I'm like, this is all I keep seeing, and you're supposed to be a comedian. Where's your funny stuff? Like, if there was a balance, I'm like, okay, but I'm not seeing your funny stuff. So you just going and talking, and some of your stuff ain't even true.
No, you're just an insult comic, and that's just not it.
Like, the political stuff, a lot of it wasn't true or funny or half-based. And so I was like, I'm just gonna follow her because, girl, I don't need that. But, at the end of the day, she still is a legend. She's an icon, and she has that. And there are people who don't know,
Yeah.
And it is what it is. I mean, she should still be working just like anybody else. But, if people don't want to book her for whatever reason, they're entitled to not book her.
She just was supposed to have a show with another local comic
Peter,
at Hunter's. And Hunter's decided to take, they're a very inclusive place. And once they figured out what she stood for, they were like, no, I'm sorry, we can't have this at our venue.
Yeah. I heard there was something about people planning to riot. And I think that was the trigger that made them cancel. It's not so much her, like they had planned, because I mean, anybody who follows her knows how she is.
Yeah.
But I think because of the rioting and the stuff, they didn't want that. And so they have the right to say, you know what, this is too much. We ain't signed up for this. We're going to have to cancel this.
100%. And like you said, people don't know. Some people still don't know. They think drag queen, so they think fun, great, entertainment, of course, LGBTQ, you know, and then you get a lady bunny. All right, well, enough of that. So people know Tiffany, right? People know Tiffany, right? Miami Beach Pride, this is the royalty. She's the one that is mentioning all the floats as they go by, etc. And you've been doing that now for how long?
Gosh, I don't even. It's the Pride is 16 years, and so I've been doing it for maybe
15.
No,
24.
Maybe 2014 was the big incident, so that's 10 to maybe 12 to 14 years. I was a co-MC. I was like the girl on the street, and then I became a main MC.
How do you feel now that, so Tiffany lived in Miami forever and recently moved up to Broward, right? And you're still the Palace Queen. You still do Miami Beach Pride. Does it fall differently now that you live in another city?
It just costs the park now. That's the problem. That parking is a pain in the ass.
Hell yeah.
But no different. I mean, Miami is still my home. I just can't afford to live there.
Okay, but that's the truth though. I lived on South Beach for 12 years. Like Miami became harder and harder and harder and harder to stay at, which is why I live on the sliver in North Miami. So I could dance in Broward and still dance in Miami, But if I wouldn't have bought my house when I did, I couldn't afford to live there. It just is, it's crazy, So like I said, people know who Tiffany is, right? Iconic. Like if you see old videos of Tiffany, it's like, oh my God, Anyway, incredible. Some of them I think are still in black and white. But who is Henry? Do people know Henry? Like when the lashes come off, like, do people I've been in places where you've had to come up to me and be like, Faye, it's me. Oh shit, hey baby, what's up? You know what I mean? And I know you as both. So like, do you get to be incognito when you're Henry?
For the most part, yes. And I enjoy that duality.
Okay.
Because a lot of people want Tiffany all the time. And I don't have the mental capacity for that. Baby,
it's a lot.
Look, I ain't gonna end up in no psych ward because trying to meet the demands of the people. No, ma'am. If I'm on, I'm on. If I'm not, I'm not. It's where I'm at is where I'm at, and I'm not trying to make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
No, ma'am. So,
like, you're not going to Aquaplex for a pageant and expecting to be quiet. You're going there and you say hello to your friends and blah, blah, blah. But when you are somewhere else, you're not expected to be Tiffany.
Correct. You know, and I just get to know people for who they are. And not with them wanting to get to know me because I'm a drag queen. I honestly hate saying that I am a drag queen because the conversation completely shifts as soon as I say that.
Yeah.
It's, oh, how long you been doing drag? Where do you work at? What do you look like? I want to see pictures. I'm like, nobody asked that mess about a lawyer. Where's your law degree? What
Can I see a picture of you in a suit?
Like, drag is one of those few professions where, like, everybody's mentality changes once they hear it. It's like
it's almost a fetish, so to speak, too.
I don't think it's a fetish. I think it's just curiosity.
Okay.
And even with all the mainstream drag out there, there are still people very curious. So if they meet one in person, like, oh my goodness,
tell me everything.
And which is annoying to me because I came not to talk about drag, but try to talk about other stuff. And so I don't get that same grace as other people, but I mean, it is what it is. It's my life.
It's your life.
I signed up for it.
It's what you signed up for. Are you dating?
Unfortunately, no. I had a boyfriend, didn't work out.
Okay. Did your drag persona have anything to do with that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
I mean, because it can't be easy to date Tiffany freaking Fantasia. I mean,
that's true. You gotta be secure.
You gotta be secure. You gotta be thick-skinned. You know what I mean? You gotta understand, like, the shit that I say about my wife on stage is not true. It's funny. You know what I mean? Yeah. And she'll be like, ha ha ha, that was funny when you mentioned my Cuban family. You know what I mean? But like, she gets it. You know what I mean? The person that you're with has to get it. And that's not always easy.
Well, I leave them out of that. Like, but if they come to a show and I'm doing a song or whatever and I'm in a moment, yeah, I've made out with my boyfriend in front of everybody. And I'm like hardcore make out. And everybody's like, what the hell? What's going on? And so then I have to go on the mic and say, that's my boyfriend.
Don't worry.
It's not a stranger. I ain't no freak like that. Like, I don't just kiss random people like that. Like, I hardly want to touch y'all.
Well, okay. Tiffany Fantasia is single. All right, baby, you got me. What are you looking for?
Power bottoms need a plot.
Okay, all right.
Power bottoms.
Thank you. And power bottoms kind of like run the show. And
that's
I'm okay with that.
Cause yes, I can relax. I'm tired of having to run everything. You tell me what to do.
You tell me what to do and I'll do it.
You tell me what to do. You tell me what pace to do it, and everything will be all right.
What are you looking for these days? A husband, a boyfriend, a situationship? What are you looking for?
I got...
And all are fine.
Look, I got hookups. That's the easy part.
Grindr works everywhere.
Baby, and Sniffies works better. Hey.
Oh my God.
Damn commercials on Grindr is too much.
I know.
I miss when only people of a certain economic status was able to get on Grindr.
Well, now they have different statuses that you can pay for, right? Like,
yeah, well, you be incognito. No, but like back when it was only on iPhone, it was a totally different atmosphere.
Now everybody's on it.
Now everybody's on it. And they got 10 million commercials. It's worse than playing a free game on your phone. I'm like, you trying to message somebody? Play this video game now on Apple. Bitch! I'm trying to talk to this man.
Listen, I was trying to send the pic. Hello.
Now he think I'm ignoring him. He gonna block me because it took too long for me to get back to the messages.
Grindr, you listening? You see? All right, we're going to end our interview today because I know I got to let you go. This beautiful woman came on her day off, and I can't tell you how excited I am. And I can sit here for another hour and talk to Tiffany because I got so much more to ask. But then I'm going to be like a first date. You know what I mean? So we're going to end today's interview with a little game we call Say What with FayWhat. All right? So it's quick, rapid fire. I'm going to give you 2 options, and you answer. No thinking. First answer you think of. All right?
Oh, Lord.
You ready?
Okay.
All right. Miami or Wilton?
In terms of?
Period. Whatever.
Wilton.
See, it's hard, right? Brunch or nightclub?
Brunch.
Beyonce or Diana Ross?
Dog, you can't do that to me. You cannot. No. No. I love them both. That is disrespectful.
You're right. That was super wrong of me.
That is
no, you're right. You're right. That was low.
Way below the belt.
No, I wanted to get you on something. Heels or flats?
Flats. I'm tall as hell.
Cocktails or coffee?
Cocktails.
Glitter or sequins?
Sequins.
Lady Gaga or Cher? They both white. It's okay.
I know. I love them both, but the one that gets me more is Cher.
Okay. Retire or perform forever?
Perform forever.
I love that. After 23 years, after all the shows, all the applause, all the memories, what do you hope people say about Tiffany Fantasia 20 years from now?
Oh, wow. I hope they say good things. Mm-hmm. Fearless. Was able to went out there and made you feel good about yourself and about the day. I left you with some type of impact.
You know, as someone who is a patron and also a friend, you bring so many smiles to people. And I hope that you know that. You know, you give somebody a smile that they start with their face, but it goes down to their heart and they walk out with it. And you do that. And I just so appreciate you for everything that you do.
Thank you.
And if something ever happens in the future with any drag queen, just let me know what kind of car they drive, and I'll make sure to take care of certain tires.
Girl, no, you don't have to do a damn thing. I am a Capricorn ruled by Saturn. Karma will get them in the best way.
Karma always works, but karma takes a long time, and I have gay boys that will do it now.
Oh, no, honey. Sometimes my karma is instant, and sometimes it's a slow walk. It depends on how bad the universe wants to get you.
Oh.
But don't mess with me. The universe don't like that.
See? Okay, the universe don't like ugly, all right? And also the universe don't like ashy people. What is your... Tell them your catchphrase.
Oh, don't be a dry hoe, be a greasy bitch.
And for whatever reason, every time I see that, I'm like, I gotta make sure to moisturize and be a greasy bitch. You know what I mean? I gotta make sure that I'm all good and moisturized.
Mind you, that came from cooking. That phrase is about cooking, really.
Did you ever think that'd be on a wall, that people would use it? That, like, you know what I mean? That it's, you know, every time they do a story on you, they have to say that because it's so catchy.
It's you know, I wanted one of those Johnny Carson moments, you know, like this is the closing catchphrase that everybody knows that this is my show.
Yeah.
And I formulated that phrase and been using it ever since. It's in a song, My Pussy Wet. And
is it trademarked so other people don't use it?
Yes.
Yes.
So if it your yes and my yes sounded completely different.
And they both said different things.
Yeah.
I freaking love you, Tiffany. Look into that camera and give them your best FayWhat.
FayWhat.
Yes, there it is. Make sure you follow Tiffany Fantasia on all social media outlets under Tiffany Fantasia, all right? She is everywhere. Also follow The Palace, okay? They've got TikToks, they have a Facebook, they have YouTube, they have all kinds of stuff, okay? So follow them and go on over to their drag brunch.
Yes.
What are the days on the weekend that the drag brunch is?
There's a drag show every day and every night there. You go to the lunch shows Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 1 to 4 p.m.
Is that the ladies at lunch or ladies at brunch?
Ladies who lunch.
Is that London?
London's on Thursdays. I'm on Wednesdays. I forgot who's on Tuesday. Please forgive me. Friday brunch. I host that. We have a Saturday brunch and a Sunday brunch, and I host a Sunday brunch also. And then we have a Monday brunch hosted by Cece Glisser.
Cece!
And then we have our night shows also. And Wednesday night is Way Back Wednesdays, where we do all the classic songs, like 2009, 10 back. And then we have Latin Night on Thursday, hosted by Poison Ivy Lords.
Oh, I love Miss Poison Ivy. Hi, Poison. Love you, Naomi. Love you, love you, love you. And the Palace also has other great events. AJ was in my bed a couple months ago talking about all the wonderful things that they have that they're planning on doing. They had a fashion show there like a month ago. So they're always doing something. So follow the Palace and you'll also see what's going on there. Okay. So folks, follow Tiffany Fantasia, support her, tip your entertainers, and get yourself to Palace Brunch or anywhere that Miss Tiffany is. One last question. Are you locked to Palace or are you able to work in other places? Why you smile like that? Why you smile like that?
You really be trying to get the good stuff out of me, and you gotta bait me.
Come on!
Bro.
I got you in bed after how long? I have to ask.
So, yes and no. I am under contract. So there are certain things I cannot do.
Okay.
But there are a lot of things that I can do. So, like, for instance, I'm doing the Fort Lauderdale Improv on June 21st with Lisa Carrero. And so I'm opening up for her doing stand-up. I can do that. I can, I'm trying to develop a one-woman show. Because I want to change it up. Like I told you about, change. And so when I'm singing live and doing comedy and stuff like that. And so I can go and do that somewhere else. But there's certain things, like certain places I can't perform at or do. And it is what it is.
No, I get it. I can't imagine Palace allowing you to go work at our house. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way, you know? But Tiffany, if anybody can do this one-woman show, it's you, you know? And if there's anything I can do to help, promotion-wise or whatever, if I got to whip out a titty, I'm there. Okay, I don't think that'll help. I don't think that'll help.
There'll be no titties.
No. There'll be no titties there. No. But I want to help. Like, first of all, I want to be there at Tarima. I want to be like this. Oh my God. Because between your comedy, between your hosting, between your singing, that is what we want we love to be entertained. We're eating like this all, the whole entire time and you're serving it. So yes. Okay, follow Tiffany so you can know when this one-woman show is going to happen, okay? And you'll hear about it here first. Try to drag her back in bed, all right? All right, look into that camera and give them another FayWhat. 1, 2, 3. FayWhat! Thank you, Tiffany. I love you.
You're welcome.
Oh, my God, I adore you.